We're live. We should really get an intro video. It gives me the option to like say set intro video.
Sounds complicated.
It does. Could be fun though. You never know.
What are we going to do today, Hannah?
Well, we think you're going to get to build fun things. But if Laura or Kylie or anyone shows up with questions, then we're of course going to be available for these support questions because that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So we're going to dance it out and see if anyone shows up for a solid 5 minutes. What
5 minutes?
Your
I'm
eyebrows.
not allowed to do anything else for 5 minutes, but just wait for someone to show up and ask questions?
I gave you an assignment. It's dance.
5 minutes of dance is going to be a lot for me.
I agree. I think like 2 minutes would even be painful. Just hanging out earlier. I've got Zoomies today, so this is a lot.
I have the opposite of the Zoomies. I have to go back to bedsies.
And hopefully you get to do that.
Yeah.
So why are we doing a million things on this call?
Well, I mean, it's a lot. The point I understand of lives are for us to be able to like answer support questions for people. But I feel like if we're already here, we might as well like just do something recorded that anyone could use. Laura's here. Do you see that?
Yay! Hi, Laura! That's exciting.
Yay. Okay, Laura, as usual, first up is if you have any questions. So if there's anything we can answer, anything we can work on your site, we are here to do that. And I will wait a little bit because I know there's the lag. Okay, so in the meantime, as I wait for questions, Hannah, I was thinking about building out a couple like different block styles, or just kind of showing how you can make block styles. I don't know if that's really helpful for the live call, but something I already had kind of on my to-do list, so might be possible. Ooh, should we help with Laura's thing? Okay, so Laura said I tweaked the colors some more. I still need to switch out the pink bullets and numbers. Everyone likes the new colors.
That's
Yay.
exciting.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Okay, so we could switch out some of that stuff. The pink bullets and numbers.
Yep.
Cool. Can I just kind of, Laura, I assume you're fine with me going into your site and doing things. Because I think what I'll do is I'll show how to replace
yes, all
those colors, right? Like I wouldn't be upset about this either. Like absolutely, I would prefer for you to just do this rather than tell me. So I think what I'll do is I'll replace the colors in like some of the pages I see on your site, and then I might do other things. So one would be I could do it manually, or I could try and do it automatically. But I feel like that might be too techy to really be any value here. But then I'm thinking we could update some of the patterns to use the new colors, specifically the ones that have bullets colored in them or numbers that are colored a different way. So anyway, I'll show what I mean by that. But first, let me share my screen. And we'll do... Oh, wait, I just want to do this window here. All right. So we have Laura's site. The hearts as well. Cool. Very excited. Okay, so going to the front end, I'm just going to look through your site real quick. Okay, so we have some of the colors here. What did we decide was happening here last time? We didn't know. Did I say I was going to look into it and then like I forgot? I feel like I'm going to take off this one and it's going to fix it. Whee! Okay. I fixed it. I know that's the fix. I don't really know why that's the fix. So let's not think too hard about it. Isn't that bad?
You fixed it. Thanks.
Well, I don't think this comes enabled by default. So normally, like I don't see it because I don't enable that, but obviously that does need to be like actually resolved. So color-wise, we have like the current colors on here so far is what I'm noticing. And I want to look at like if any of our main pages need colors changed out, or if we're mostly going to be looking at like patterns that need things changed. Okay, so those, what about like some categories? Nice. And then if I look in the back end and I go through the pages here, okay, these are drafts. Let's double check these two legal pages. Yeah, they look fine. Perfect. Okay, so then we're probably looking inside of posts. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do this to show how you would find instances that need colors updated. Oh, wait, okay. So here's one. This has colors added to it. Let me see what this looks like. So I am going to change out this icon color here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the browser inspector to kind of figure out what I'm looking at here. Like I know it's using some sort of color, but I want to know how that's being applied. And then I can see that there's something in the code that's doing it. And it looks like I can also see something right here. And I kind of happen to know what I'm looking for, but basically I'm trying to figure out how I can identify which posts have this in it so that I could go through and update them. And so because I kind of know what I'm looking for, I know I'm looking for some 6-digit or 6-character really code. And I think if I search this throughout the posts, I'm going to come across any post that has got some blue colored icon. Probably would have to do something different for if the icon is pink. Like here, these numbered. These have a setting. Let's see if it says, yeah, so it has here in the style that color that's being set as the background. So I bet I could look that up as well. So let me show you real quick what I mean. One is this first one I looked at, no posts. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to install a plugin that helps me search for things. This will let me search through posts. And I have to go into that one. Can't find that either. So this code that I'm looking for just doesn't exist in the actual like WordPress post itself. It might exist somewhere in the database, but it's not like in the post. So I'm going to come back to that one instead. Let's see if we can find anything that's using this pink color. Okay, and then I can see that it looks like there's like 65-ish posts and or pages that are using these colors here. And these are for numbers. Just working through here to see the example again. I must have missed it. Maybe this one wasn't for numbers. Maybe it was for something else. Ah, okay, so we have bullet points here. I want to change this out. Okay, so a few ways I could do this. I already have you kind of looking at how I could do it automatically. So we're probably going to do that just because there's 65 posts here and I think that's a lot of manual work. it's definitely possible to do manually. Like that's usually what we would recommend, is having a VA come in and do this manually rather than trying to automate it or write CSS, because long term this will still be like the cheapest option. But if you have someone that's techie like me that can come in and do it automatically, then that is also a nice cheat. All right, so let's look at the two different ways. One is I can come in and I'm going to start with this. Hold on. What am I going to start with? I want to start with the very first result here. There's not a reason other than it's just going to keep me organized. So instead of easy cheesy Italian meatball sliders, I'm going to go into edit post. I'm going to find the list that has pink bullet points. All right, here. So we've got pink numbers. And then when I'm looking at the parent list, here in the settings is where I set this marker background color. So I could change this to something else. I think, Laura, you said you wanted to add another color for like blue, but just for the moment, let me do, I forgot, I need to do the marker color. Something like this, just to show that if I save that, and we look at this post, these numbers update. So like that's really the easiest way to update any of these numbers throughout your site, is just to go in and manually do them. But we're gonna make them blue first of all, as an option. And then Laura, if you'll let me know whether you want them to be black on yellow, black on orange, or whatever color we do with blue for numbered ones specifically, I will see, well, maybe for all of them, with whether it's numbered or a bullet. I will show you how we can automatically do that as well. Okay, so in the meantime, we need to add a blue in here. So we're going to go into what we looked at last time, where we go into the styles. These are like your global styles. We're going to the color palette. And then here we have all of these like colors that exist. These colors are like the pre-named ones, but essentially we can add as many colors as we want. So I can add another color here, and I'm going to follow this. No, actually, maybe I'll just name it blue. We're going to pick like a blue color. We want something, as far as I can tell, we want something that's a little bit darker. So maybe I'll start here. Let me actually check. That one won't be dark enough on its own, but this one would be. Okay, so if we copy that, use this color. So this kind of like darker blue here we can use. And this one's going to have contrast with white. So let me show you what I mean. I'm saving that color. Now it can be used anywhere we want. Come in to this post that we were looking at earlier. I'm going to edit this one, and I'm going to make the list blue. Scrolling down, found my list. I want this to have the blue background and then the white text. Oh no, this is so close to the original blue. This is clearly like a blue I am partial to. Because we specifically moved Laura away from the color palette, and then now I go pick a blue and it's the exact same one. What am I doing?
You're a creature of habit. It makes you so happy. You love that blue.
Okay, we're changing it to this blue.
Okay.
We're changing it to this one. We're double checking that color. This looks like it certainly should have contrast. Yeah, we can actually go lighter with this one if we wanted. We could go all the way. That one seems too bright though. We're doing dark. Edit this post. Can't believe I just picked the blue that we had previously. Okay, look, it's a different blue now. I feel redeemed. And we're going to refresh that and check out. Our list has blue in it now. All right, so Laura, I need you to confirm that this is a blue that you want all over your site, because if I go through and edit all of the existing posts to use this blue, which is my plan, then it's all going to be this shade of blue. So if you're like, that's not the shade of blue that I want, Lauren, now's a great time to let me know. I'm going to check out what's happening in here. Lori is here. She says she hates Facebook because she doesn't get reminders or notices about lives.
I was yapping, responding to Lori, and then realized that I'm on mute. Lori, I am so sorry. I was actually convicted this morning to email our list and be like, guys, we're going to be live. Come with questions. And then I didn't. And I will do better at giving reminders and notices to you. Maybe I should just ask people, like, who wants to know about this?
Right.
All right. Laura says, how does it look on the yellow under reasons to love this recipe?
Reasons to love. Well, I'm not sure. How does it look on the yellow under reasons to love this recipe? Where's that section? Where are we looking? Oh, interesting. Lori said that she set a reminder for this live event and it doesn't tell her.
That's exactly what I was coming to respond to. I'm not sure what's at the root of that, but I would be interested in researching. Okay, it may not be on this post. Link a post where it is. Do links really work in comments? Isn't that always funky? We could still copy and paste it though.
We can't. I can't copy and paste it.
Oh yeah. Share the name. Oh, Lauren's gonna find it another way.
Okay, reasons to love this recipe, but then it doesn't have anything in it. Let's open like a lot of posts and find it. Okay, so at least this one has bullets that are normal. So I feel like here, if we look at this one that has just like bullets, this one here, reasons to love this recipe, if we change these, are these all separate lists? This is wild, girl. We're just gonna make that all one list. Oh, maybe that's why. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't edit this. But it seems to me that this is what you would be kind of looking at here. I won't save this one since you haven't necessarily updated all of these. And then marker color would be yellow on this. So I feel like that yellow is really not going to stand out. Just judging from how I see it here, because these bullets are so small, I don't think that the yellow is going to stand out very well. I think the orange is a lot better. And then the blue obviously has a good amount of contrast. And we can make this blue a little bit lighter so that it has more contrast with the black as well. So that would be one thing. The thing with, if I were to do a replacement everywhere, oh, I have too many tabs open again. Okay, if I did a replacement everywhere, what I'd be doing is replacing this code right here that says like how things are defined, the color. And so I wouldn't really be necessarily able to tell the difference between a ordered list and a non-ordered list. So I'd be changing the color everywhere. So maybe I won't do that, and instead I'll show you different ways we can do things so that we do it manually. I think that'll be easier. And then we'll also, so I've been talking with one of our developers about how to mass update lists because there's not like a built-in way with WordPress to do it. And so I need to get more information on that, but that might help you out eventually as well. Yeah, in the pattern, reasons to love this recipe is where the pink hearts are on a yellow background. Okay, perfect. So that's the other thing I was going to do. Okay, so we're going to get there. I'm going to recap everything that's in my head real quick. We added a blue on your site. Any of these colors can be used with your lists, but they have to be changed out like one by one. I do recommend usually changing them out one by one. I recommend doing that either yourself or with a VA, because it's typically going to be less expensive than doing something getting too fancy. We're going to update the patterns so that every time you insert something new, you will be pulling from a pattern that has the updated colors. So it won't update your old posts, but it'll update your new ones. Okay, so let me start closing out of all of these many tabs I have. We're not going to update that post. This is where we added our blue. We can make that blue a little bit brighter if we wanted to. Let's make it just a little bit brighter. Save that. And then, oh yeah, I meant to say, I'm going to leave this on your site, Laura. It's probably going to be more helpful for me when I'm working on your site, but I can send you the color codes that have been used in the past. So if you're wanting to go through and like find posts that have the old colors, then you could use this to just like search for that color and it'll give you a list of all of your posts that have this. So I can send you, I think there's only like 2 color codes that you would search for and it'll find any post that contains that. Okay, so back to what we'd be doing to update your patterns. So I'm going to go to Appearance Editor. And then in here, I have patterns. And then these patterns are all of the ones that are from your theme. So all of these, like I can see there's a list right here. And this is pink. And we're no longer using pink. So we would want to update this one here. So let's go ahead and start with this one. I see some others that would be options as well. This one has blue in it here. We've got pink bullets right here. And then I know you said the pink heart on this yellow background is one. We've got a little bit of pink in these. We can easily update all of those so that future use of them is really already like updated. So let me start with this one because I feel like it's nice and pretty, really visual. I'm gonna go to actions and then I'm just gonna duplicate this. And then I think I'm gonna just put in the parentheses updated color. So it said copy and I'm just changing that to updated color. Leave this as unsynced, keep it in the category that it was in before, duplicate that. And then love that it doesn't show up for us. Let's see if we can get it to. Content, image top right. Here's the updated one. How come we couldn't find that earlier? Do you think it's all the way at the end? If I go to the very last page. Yeah, love that for us. We love this. Okay, so then just like we were doing an individual post, we'll come in here and update the colors. So I could make this the blue if I like that. Click save. So this is my new pattern, but the problem is that now I have 2 patterns that have the same name. So when I go to insert these, I have to remember which one I want to use. And we can't delete this other one. So in that case, what I'd recommend is we have a plugin that lets you disable patterns. And some of our plugins are literally just like placeholders until WordPress core does something we think is really necessary. So I'd recommend using that plugin to disable the patterns that you've now updated to match whatever you want them to do. So before I go update the other patterns, which I will do for you before we do anything else, before we wrap up anything, I would go into, is it this one here? No, this is, oh yeah, this is manage available. Girl, you have this installed. I'm so happy. Right, so then now I can disable this content image top right. Yay, so let me show you what that means. You can see it's disabled right here. Go back to Appearance Editor. We're gonna go back into Patterns. And then now you can see that we only have the one that we've updated. We don't have the old one. So we're going to do that a few more times. And I think I'm going to just copy all the ones I know I want. So here's one. Updated colors. Is it updated color or colors? You know I want them to match. Updated color, duplicate this one. Updated color. These are fine. We're going to duplicate this one. I'm going to name it, updated color, even though it's not 1,000% accurate. Updated color. Updated color. And I need to do this blue right here, so this one will need it as well. Okay, that was only page 1. Let's scroll through these other ones and see what we have. This one has a pink little icon. So we'll do that. These look fine to me. These little previews are so small. There's a pink icon right here. We're going to change him out. These icons right here are actually using like a tan color. They seem like they might match your site currently, but just to cover our bases, like, and to fully represent what this would look like for anyone else that's wanting to update colors, if it's not, it might not work as well for their brand. And so that one would need to be updated as well. Okay, scrolling back up. So these yellow stars, these are all using emojis. So this color like doesn't actually change. And with your particular site, I think it's fine. Here's another, like these icons here. We could update those. Some pink icons here. Basically anywhere an icon's being used is the main place that they have to write that into the page code. They can't save it into a setting. All right, I think we're almost done. I believe this is going to be our last page. And I'm just scanning. So I see pink on orange in here. I honestly didn't expect it to be this many, but we do use a lot of icons, so it makes sense. Ooh, this one has an icon and a list. Ooh, okay, these ones here are actually like the ones that don't have any content in them. These ones are all from like base creator theme. And so I'm going to just disable those. So I've opened a new tab so I can have things side by side. Inside of patterns, I'm going to disable all of these old ones. So brand logos, button bar. I'm hoping, yeah, basically everything from here down, I suspect. Through subtle header. Okay, so we went through subtle header. These are the ones we've actually started coming in and changing. And then I'm also going to go ahead and deactivate all of the originals of these. So we've already duplicated them. While I'm in the pattern manager, I'm going to deactivate all of them. This is going to keep everything really clean for you so that when you're going through and selecting patterns to use, like you're not seeing ones that wouldn't be the color scheme that you normally want to use. You don't have like a bunch you have to like filter through. And so if there's any patterns that you're like, I don't like this pattern, I'll never use it, totally recommend coming in here, making your life a little bit easier and disabling it. Okay, so these ones are going to be a little harder for me because I have to look them up one by one, but we will get through it. Row, text row. call to action. I think these are going in backwards order. Sidebar bio. Nice. Manual thin. This one says, oh yeah, updated color. I was like, what's that in parentheses? Row icons, header icons. Let's see that. Header icons, this one. Grid posts. And, oh, still more. Featured video, feature cover. Feature video, feature cover, feature bio plus logos. Title pulled up, image pulled left.
One of the more riveting things you're capable of doing here. You know my organization skills.
Yeah. Icon heading. It's this one. Okay. Save changes. Refresh here. And then I'm going to search for updated color. And these are all the patterns we're going to update. So it looks like we have 16 patterns. We've done one, and then we're going to do the other 15. And I'm going to click so fast, guys. Okay, so here's this teal color. Up here in duotone, we pick shadows, and then we pick whatever other color we would want for them. I'm going to pick colors for you, Laura, but you can totally come edit these later. Don't be offended if your opinion is not my opinion, because I definitely will be self-conscious about it. But I like that orange. So we picked an orange, come into this one for our list. Let me see if I like blue. I like the orange again. I like this orange. Okay, this one is an interesting one because these hearts are like emojis, so they don't look great on the yellow background from this contrast and everything. But I can't just change the color of those hearts. I would just pick another emoji. And so this is basically what I do. I copy paste emojis. I haven't ever used this site in particular, but I mean, this one's just as good as the next. I'll sometimes, if I know what I want it to be, I'll do like copy paste star icon. And then I'll get something like this. And copy. Here, I can close that one now, paste. And then it'll pull whatever color. I do think that if you're using an icon that isn't colorized, like just it's a black icon, you can color these. So I could make this like, you know, whatever color I wanted. I probably would keep it black myself, like maybe this grayish color. But if you're using an emoji, you can't colorize it, like it already has color. Okay, Laura likes the star. I wish I would keep my search in here. Updated color. Change out this one. I'm going to make him blue. Go back over here. Do it for this one as well. Oops, I have to remember to search. Okay, we have to do this like icon right here. This one's kind of like, at this point, since we've already made a new pattern, I would probably replace it with whatever you've been using recently. And I know I've seen something, so I'm going to hope I can just find it. Maybe I'll search for like circle or icon. One more page. No. Okay, let's see. Circle. Is this it? Did I literally find it? No, because that has a background color. Logo. Yeah, this one has transparency, it looks like. Nice. Do I want to clear that? Yeah, I think I just want to clear that. So this looks good here. Oh, look, that's saving all the ones I've edited recently. Okay, so we did that one. Can I make this background color? I don't know if I like that. I wanted to have the icon be yellow on a darker color, but it feels off. Ooh, what if we did like, we couldn't. What if we got rid of the background color? Or sorry, if we made the background white and we kept it, we made the icon orange. Okay, that's what I'm picking. I like it. Where are we now? This one has an icon. Nope, blue it is for that one. I think blue will give more contrast on most of those images. This part is really feeling tedious to me because of the fact that it doesn't save my search up there. I don't know where I'm at half the time. Okay, here's a fun one. So this is where I was saying these are technically colorized with something different from your brand, but because they just match your brand already, so it doesn't really seem totally off. But we could come in here and just make them a little bit closer. Like we could do gray. I wonder if a blue would be too much. And then we just click a lot. I wonder if we can copy this style onto it. We can. That's kind of nice, at least. So we can paste styles here. Save those. Nope. Needed color. I'm not going to do that blue here. We'll just do like a gray, darker gray color. And then to save me some time, we're going to copy and paste those styles. Blue and blue. Okay, this one. I think because of this yellow, I'm just going to make the icon a really dark gray. The other colors were a little much. I want this background to be different. And then this one can basically just be black on top of it. Okay, we'll replace your logo here. I got to change the color on that to clear it. And then maybe we'll just clear these colors as well. No, I want dark gray. I'm so picky. All right, and then save that. We're on to our last one, I believe. This color up here. I like orange. Okay, so those all have the updated color now. So whenever you use these, they'll be using like things that are on brand for you. So just to show you what I mean by that, if we were to go create a new page, this will just be like orange draft. When I come in here into patterns, those, because we duplicated from the existing patterns, they're all going to exist within the correct location already. And then they're going to show your updated color. You can see these are all the newer ones. Like we created them, so they're showing up at the top. So all of the ones we've updated show up at the top. You can search for them as always. We don't even have to have that title, like updated color in here, because we've deactivated the other ones. So it's not like it's going to be difficult to tell them apart because there's only one now. But those do have all of the updated icons in them now, and they show up here. But if I search for like bio plus logos, it's only that one. It doesn't have the old one that has the outdated colors. Ooh, that was a little tedious. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Tedium's what you're good at. That's why we love you.
I can do tedium pretty decently. Sometimes it gets under my skin, but I don't mind it. I'd rather have control and have it be a little bit more tedious. You're fine, Laura. You sat here and watched me do this. I've taken a good amount of your time.
Laura, whenever we sit before the live streams waiting to click to go live, we're like, oh, we know Laura's going to be here. She's our girl. We can count on her. Thank you. Thank you for showing up and asking questions and giving us things.
It is actually, that is really appreciated, because otherwise I would still find something to do during this time so that there'd be something helpful that people could look at later if they needed to, or I could reference. But if there's something that like I can actually do that's helpful for you, and I can record doing it, like, more than happy to. So, Lori, did you come with any questions? Have you stuck around through all my clicking?
So much clicking. Fast clicking, though.
Possibly a good thing.
We're down to one. I think Lori might have popped off.
She heard her name and then she was like, nope.
I'm here to watch.
Yeah, I don't participate. I was thinking about that for Feature Fest. I was like, I gotta not call people out. Like, you just want to attend anonymously, you're good. You can attend
We're happy
anonymously.
to have you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Nice.
Lauren, how are you feeling about the training next week?
Oh, I'm super nervous about it.
We show up here every week, and we did Feature Fest previously, but there's something about like changing the formatting and involving industry partners, and I don't know, just how we approach this one differently, that it feels bigger.
Yeah.
To me. We'll see.
Nervous about it, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a backstory to this. Should we tell it?
No, it's not a long story.
It's just a sad story.
I've spilled drinks, usually very sticky drinks with lots of sugar, which this one does have some sugar in it, so it would not be ideal on keyboards. But usually those keyboards are part of laptops, and I have to mail the whole laptop in.
Oh, yeah. You have your whole setup in your office, so it wouldn't be as tragic.
It wouldn't have been as bad. It would have just been this guy.
No big deal.
It's still like not a cheap keyboard, right?
No.
So it's not like I'm trying to ruin this keyboard, but by the way, guys, numpads, are you for or against?
I used to be for, but it's worth it for me to just have an Air.
Yeah.
Live without. Do you love it?
On my laptop, I'm fine, but like, yeah, if I can like have a keyboard with this,
I have a
I would
calculator.
much rather be able to type in with my little numpad.
Yeah, so nice.
Okay. Okay, I think that we've covered stuff. We've answered some questions. I say we wrap it up and hang out again on Monday.
That's right. I get to go zoom around until Monday now.
Zoom, zoom. Meanwhile, I'm going to take myself to bed.
Thank you so much for doing this today. There was like a 10% chance Lauren was going to show up, and then Lauren showed up and handled life. So exciting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What time on Monday? 1, right?
Central.
1 Central, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'll be 2-hour sessions instead of 1-hour sessions like our freebies. So it'll just be a little longer, but it'll start at the same time Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
There will be, well, there's links in the UpCoach program.
Yeah.
Laura, did you get your invite for that? Hannah's like looking at me like, no, she hasn't got her invite for it.
No, she did not get her invite.
Okay.
Laura, be on the lookout for your invite to UpCoach, where you'll have links to all of the live streams.
The events are listed in there and the links will be in there. But I assume there'll be reminders sent out beforehand too. So
yeah.
Cool. All right.
Awesome, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'm clicking the button now.
Bye, guys.